Speaking of what the people want, Don, 49ers at Bears.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
this game is going to be awesome.
You're listening to Let's Talk Fantasy Football, where men of fantasy genius have realized, hey guys, we don't need real football skills to dominate on the fantasy field. Yeah. So slap on your pads and grab your helmet. Shit's about to get real.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Let's Talk Fantasy Football. We are on a Voncast streak because I am Vinny Gonzalez, and I am joined here with my good buddy, Don Chrisman. What's going on, dude? How do you feel about the Voncast streak reaching 3?
I feel good about it. I'm sorry, as you asked that, you just like took a sip of like your Pinot Grigio with a whole bunch of ice on there.
Oh, it's Moscato. Laura told me to add a lot of ice.
Wow.
It was a good call because it's a lot better than when I first had it.
That's a real football drink right there.
Yeah, it's bringing back the podcast wine classic, dude.
Yeah, no, that's great. Listen, I don't judge.
You shouldn't.
But I would like Shrek to pull up the numbers on how much we've plummeted ever since we're Boncasts every week.
Yeah, I don't want to see that data. If I would feel bad.
We might
myself.
be single-handedly, chip here.
We might be. Yeah. Well, then, someone should put a stop to it because we're on number 3 right now, and who knows, maybe next week we hit 4.
It's we might get a longer streak than Eli Manning's now that his is cut off.
Oh, Don, it's too soon for that. Poor Eli.
But relevant.
True, a little irrelevant, but nice reference to the streak. We'll get to that later. I think on the second podcast for this week. So
we'll get it at some point, one way or another. We'll be there.
Yeah, doofus Eli, poor guy. Gave it his all. Either way, we are here to bring you the Week 13 preview. We're winding down here, Don. I know we didn't have the best season in our league of record, but we're still fighting. I think you have like a 1 in a million shot at the playoffs. I have to claw my way out of not being last, which we refer to as league bitch in our league. So hopefully that does not happen. And
so you're saying there's a chance?
For you, no, but I just said that because I know you would yell at me if I said you were done, but you're definitely done. So
definitely done, but there's a lot of things that need to happen.
You need to put up like 200 points a week, and everyone needs to die and bench their entire lineup, and you'd make it.
I feel good. Jay Jai is going to take me to the promised land.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit that as well later because that's awful too. And
300 all-purpose yards within these next 2 weeks.
I'd be shocked if he didn't, Don. I think you got a good horse in that race. It's a good call on your part. But yes, we're winding down, and people who didn't suck like us, you probably clinched the playoffs already, or you're on your bye, or you're fighting to get in. So we're going to bring you all that good information that we usually do. We're going to hit some injuries. We're going to cover mainly the 1 o'clocks in this part 1, and then part 2 we'll hit the 4 o'clocks in the late night prime times. So before we break down game by game, we're going to give a quick shout out to BenchBoss. They are the revolutionary app that allows you to play fantasy football while watching the game live on TV. Predict the plays, the results of the play, and literally play fantasy football. You can sign up for the beta now by going to letstalkfantasyfootball.com/benchboss. And our shameless plug, as usual, you guys can like and subscribe to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud. You're listening now, so you did a good job finding one of those, so bravo to you. And we are also on the Alexa app, which is a lot of fun. And download that. It's great. So, Don, are you ready to hit this slate of games?
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
I like the deep breath. Whew, it is go time. So we'll start with the Thursday night game, Don. I think this should be a good one. It's Redskins at Cowboys. Despite the Cowboys being pretty bad as of late, I'm kind of feeling a slight bounce back just because they've been so terrible, so the bar is very low. I think this will be a pretty competitive divisional game here. What are you thinking on just pretty much the Cowboys side in general? What do you think's going on there? And should people hang with Dak Prescott or go to the wire and stream?
I don't think Dak Prescott is as bad as these past 2 games, and I think he's going to come back to better form. And I think everyone's jumping the gun a little bit, but I don't think he's a play. I think there's a lot of streaming quarterbacks that you can play that Walsh actually hit. If you listen to the recap that was posted this morning, QBs that you can go for first before looking to play Dak.
Yeah, I'd be careful. There's a whole lot more reasoning behind not playing him than there is to play him. So I think I'm on the side where you can find better plays, but I understand if people have had him all season or are in a more casual league or whatever and just want to hang in there with him. So take that for
I wouldn't hang in there.
No, I know. I'm also saying that, but I understand why people would. But Don,
I don't.
Okay, that's fine, Don.
You shouldn't play. I just don't think he's going to be as bad. But if you're still playing him with what's probably on your waivers, you. Yeah.
Would you play Josh McCown or Dak Prescott?
Josh McCown.
Jay Cutler or Dak Prescott?
Bro, get the hell out of here. Is Jay Cutler even playing this week?
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but he cleared concussion, dude. I just wanted to end that real quick. So, Don, we can hop over to something else before you start yelling at me more. I think Alfred Morris is a decent play. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm cool with playing Alfred Morris this week. I mean, we all know that Alfred Morris has the potential to do it. He has done it, and it's going against his old team. So, potential revenge game. Offensive line still is good. So, and if Prescott's not the Dak Prescott without Zeke and not playing as well, they're going to feed Alfred Morris a little bit more. So, I think Alfred Morris is an okay play. He bounces back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not really feeling Rod Smith. He got that vulture touchdown on the Thanksgiving game. I don't think you can roll him here. Maybe in like a deep league, but I really don't see the value in starting him.
No, he's only had games. So if you take a touchdown away from that, 88 divided by 3, you're looking at like not even 30 yards. That's a bust of a performance.
Yeah, not very good. Speaking of bust fantasy performances, Dez Bryant, Don, I don't feel good about him going into this game. He's got his little showdown sideshow with Josh Norman and bunch, and Redskins got an okay pass D, nothing that you can't beat. And as like the last couple games, they've been getting rocked. So I think you got to roll him, but I don't feel great about it.
Into a why, and why would you play him? I'm not playing Dez Bryant. I think there's other people that you can play ahead of him. The performance that you wanted this year, and I don't think that's I think that's going to continue.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just I'm a kind of guy that can't pass up targets, and he has been getting a lot. But the flaw in that is a lot of those passes that Dak has thrown have not been catchable. About 40% of them have not been catchable, and the ones that have been, Dez has a decent catch rate on those, which is I think what he's caught. There were 60 catchable balls, and he's caught 52 of them. So it's a better catch rate than it appears, and he's still getting the targets. So there's reasoning to play Dez, but I'm with you, Don. I just don't have the balls to do it. I can't sit him. You're not playing any of the other guys. No Williams, no Beasley, no Butler. I would assume no Jason Witten too for you, Don. I'm not playing Witten.
No, nope.
Yeah, that's just a gross pill. You don't want to. Yeah. So let's jump over to the Redskins, Don. Kirk Cousins is still quarterback 5. Great matchup. I expect big things from Kirk. And we'll just hop right over to the guys who will be doing it. Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of goes for Redskins. So
yeah. So Jamison Crowder, Don, over 70 yards in the last 4 games for him. He's really turned it on, especially since they stopped playing with their new toy in Terrell Pryor. And he just started, getting it going right before the bye, and then has, really turned it on since then. And I think he's a must play, great matchup, and should really produce.
Yeah. I mean, Walsh hit him pretty well yesterday too. He's averaging 10.5 targets per game in the past 4 games.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
That's not like 1 or 2 games. That's 4 games with 10.5 targets on average. So that's consistency with high targets. So he's and it's against the not that strong Cowboys defense. So I think if obviously Kirk Cousins is going to have a good game, Jamison Crowder's got to have a good game. He seems to be him to be in the beginning of the season. So I think Jamison Crowder is a great play. If he's someone that's on your bench and you have a Dez Bryant, you're definitely playing Jamison Crowder over Dez Bryant.
Yeah, that's fair. If you have that choice to make, I think I'm with you on that one, Don, if you really want to make that choice and not play both. But that is what it is. One of your guys who you've come to love is Josh Dachshund, who actually leads the Redskins in air target yards, which is a very weird stat, but very cool because he can have a boom game at any time. They mainly use him down at the red zone as of now, but if those targets are hitting at any point, he can blow up. And this could very well be the game, Don.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was going to be the previous game. The good thing about him, even though he's not really getting that many catches yet, and the targets still seem to now are going to James Crowder, he's getting a touchdown like almost every game too. So he's been very hot in the red zone. You know, like you said, if one of those deep balls goes through and he catches a touchdown, that's already a good week for you. So I wouldn't say he's boom or bust. He's very boom or most likely going to have at least a touchdown for you. So
yeah, he's a solid option. Great matchup. So yeah, definitely. He's one of the higher flex plays, I think, to me. It's just I like it. But as we always say, for Thursday night games, don't flex him. Actually, put him in the wide receiver spot so you can have something to play with in case anything happens. So don't do that. Last pass catcher, Jordan Reed is out. So Vernon Davis, Don. I'm having a tough time wanting to play him, but the matchup is great, and just the bagel on Thanksgiving night really looms large for me, and I'm sure a lot of people that got burned by him. Do you hang in there, or do you seek help on the waiver, Don?
I would like to think that Vernon Davis is an okay play. It's not a sexy play. I say more no than yes, but I don't think it's horrible if, you know, the waiver is not that great kind of there. So if there's no one really that enticing on your waiver wire, Vernon Davis is fine, especially with Jordan Reed being out. Probably would just stay.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep him. Like you said, if you didn't get anybody in the waivers, then you can continue to roll Davis. It's a plus matchup, and that's the only good thing. It's so hard to play a dude that bageled you as your Thanksgiving treat, which was terrible. But it is what it is, man, and you can't hold grudges. So
no,
it's there for you. And then lastly, we got Semaj Pierre, who is definitely a play. Gets all the work. He'll get 20-plus touches in this game easily, so he is a must-play for me.
Yeah, P. Ryan is the first Washington back to rush for 100 yards back-to-back games since Al Mo in 2013.
Hey, look at that. We got a showdown then. We think of 100 in this game together. Probably not, though.
That'd be cool.
Probably P. Ryan, but not Alfred Morris. So, Don, who the hell do you got in this game?
I'm going with Kirk Cousins, going to lead them to the promised land of a win against the Cowboys.
Cool. I'm going to split, and I'm going to go with the Cowboys here, and they just get back on track for no good reason, and Dak has a good game. I don't know. I'm feeling that for some reason. Superstitious. We'll go over to Shrek's favorite, the Chiefs at the Jets, so they come back to the Meadowlands to hopefully not get stifled again by another shitty team who's pretty decent, but whatever.
Yeah, stop being fucking disrespectful to the Jets this year, man.
Whatever, dude. They're not going to win anything. I don't give a shit about them. They've done a good job of taking themselves out of, like, a good pick, pretty much. But they've been fun to watch.
It's a very Jet-like thing to do. That was
of course.
The worst.
Take themselves out of the draft. They'll probably not make playoffs, but whatever.
Not make playoffs, but not do so shitty as everyone expected us and not get a good draft pick.
Right. They just bone themselves in all aspects. But that shit aside, they've been pretty serviceable in fantasy. Don, I know you probably want to talk about him right now. Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
Saving your ass.
Please vote for him in the Pro Bowl.
I didn't like that on the sideline, but dude, did you hear the announcer?
Watch the video, but I just heard everyone ripping on him begging.
Yeah, I didn't understand the ripping. Like, I was like, all right, whatever. He was just saying something funny on the sideline. Then they're just like, don't beg for a playoff or don't beg for Pro Bowl votes. Like, relax, dude. The dude just caught like a 60-yard bomb. He's ready to rock. Yeah. Leave the dude alone. But
yeah, Robbie Anderson's been like
fantastic.
Keeping me alive in our league. Actually, really well. In the one league that we're in that I didn't drop Keenan Allen. The two of them just went off for me, which was really nice. So
Great moves all around. But yes, keep rolling Robbie Anderson. He's not going to keep catching touchdowns, but he will do very well. The targets are there. That's the best part of Robbie Anderson.
Dude, he's going to catch another touchdown.
I hope
for the rest of the season, and I believe in it.
Now you're getting cocky, Don.
There's nothing more sexy than a McCown bomb to Anderson touchdown.
I think of a couple sexier things, but yeah, it's I guess floating around there for this year. It's been a pretty ugly year. And then Don, do you think Jermaine Kearse is a play? Because I think he could sneak him in as like a sketchy kind of flex.
Yeah,
he did good. Got that garbage time touchdown, but points are points, man. And he's doing fairly well in the target department. Maxed out around 7. Minimum's like 4 or 5, so it's not bad.
Wide receiver 4.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I think he could sneak him in. And then ASJ, Don, falling off. Dude, I cannot get past the fucking overturned touchdowns, dude. He's had 3 in total. I've watched all of them live. And they've all been touchdowns to me. It makes no sense, and I feel bad for the guy. But do you think he's serviceable this week against the Chiefs, Don?
I don't know. There's just so many touchdown opportunities that he could have had. I think if I own him, I'm still rolling him.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. If you've been streaming, keep doing that. I'm sure there's better options out there for you, and we'll touch on that.
The touchdown's going to go his way at some point.
I mean, they have. He was catching a touchdown a week, and then they're like, all right, this shit has to stop, reverse him. So they're just screwing
it's like
him
regression's
over.
Real. I mean, they just keep.
Yeah, this is the
now he's going to get one.
Yeah, this is the worst kind of regression where he's caught the touchdowns and they've just been overturned, and it's been brutal to watch. But I agree with Don. If you've been rocking him every week, continue on. And Josh McCown, Don, you streaming this guy? As I don't know if I would, but he's been, better than some guy. Like I think he's averaging more points than Matt Ryan earlier in the year. Definitely Matt Stafford performed way better than him. So he's kind of like the Case Keenum deal, where it's not a great name, not a great team, and you can do it.
If Case Keenum and Josh McCown are on there, I'd probably take Case Keenum over Josh McCown this week.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
I'd probably put him in my top 3, if that's fair. I think you might, if Goff is there, you might be able to take Goff. Although Arizona's defense is a little bit better sometimes. I don't know. I'd probably take Case Keenum over, and then I'd probably go Josh McCown against Kansas City.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you in that ranking tier. So don't let the name scare you off. He's been pretty good. So I'd go out and get him if you're in trouble. Or Don, would you play? I think I already asked you, right? You'd play Josh McCown over Dak?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right.
I'd play Eli Manning over Dak right now.
Ooh, that's just mean, Don. Mean-spirited. Oh, would you play Geno, Don, in a real question?
No, and we're going to hit that. Listen.
Later.
We'll taking Geno Smith.
I mean, it's a good matchup, but yeah.
Well,
I'll be
matchups can only go so far sometimes. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess.
Would you play Geno?
I guess. Whatever, man. Don, you play?
Do you play Geno?
No. Why would I do that?
Okay. Well, because it's a good matchup,
I just get why Walsh said that. I get it. Plus,
Walsh is being a dick.
He's all about.
And Walsh always does this about Geno Smith. Always about Geno Smith. It's like it's a good play this week, and then it just, I said, but I'm going to be dick, and that's what happens. Don't follow that lead.
Certainly is what it is. So whatever. I don't want to play any of these running backs, Don. We got Matt Forte, who's still not practicing. McGuire always seems to get a decent amount of work. And then Bilal Powell has done okay, but nothing to steal the job or get the job, really. So I'm not going to play any of those running backs. I would look elsewhere.
Yep.
Any way possible. We could shift over to the Chiefs, who I cannot fucking understand why they're so bad now. I think it has a lot to do with Andy Reid's play calling, but I feel like that's – I don't know. Because the team just doesn't look great. Offensive line isn't playing well. It just seems like – oh, Don, it's not Alex Smith's fault either. I don't know what it is, but
if it's Eli's fault, it's Alex Smith's fault.
Yeah, he should be benched. But, so Don, are you playing Alex Smith anymore? He's been so cold now. And
play Case Keenum or Josh McCown over Alex Smith.
Yep, I agree with that. But definitely over Geno, play Alex Smith. So we have that. We have the line. The line has been established.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Mahomes.
No, Don, shut up. Alex Smith is great. Leave the guy alone.
I would not say he's great. I would say he's good.
Don't be like that. He's been great.
Yeah, like the first few weeks, and now look at them, 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, he's had his
come on
streaks of hotness. Everyone's got it.
Yeah, and streaks of coldness.
Whatever. It comes with the hotness, man. It happens.
Which equals out back to his mediocrity. Or mediocrity. How do you say it? I don't know.
You can't even do it, Don. You're on.
Listen. Remember freshman year of college, I had to take a non-credited writing course because I had no vocabulary, couldn't put a sentence together. And here I am saying mediocrity. I think that's right.
Yeah, talking with words with Don.
Yeah. If you ever played Word with Friends, I always lost.
Is that a thing anymore, Don? Probably not.
No, but it was around,
when you were learning your words.
When I was in that class.
Holy shit, we're way off track. Voncast off the rails. Holy shit. Let's go back, Don. Let's ramble about Kareem Hunt. And I don't know why he sucks. I don't know why he's not getting the ball. And you can't bench him.
If Mahomes was in there, he would hand it off.
Shut your mouth, Don. But yes, Kareem Hunt. Can't sit him. Got to play him. Suck it up.
Yeah, he's just that guy. You have to suck it up and play him every week. You can't justify benching him, but it's frustrating. But there's only so much you can do.
He's virtually splitting with Charkandrick West at this point. It's just mind-numbingly stupid on Andy Reid's part. And that's probably why I have criticized the play calling and whatnot there. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
so flip it over to – yeah. It's beyond odd. It makes no sense. Their whole winning streak is based around Kareem Hunt's performance, and they just got away from him, and they've lost every game since. So figure it out, Andy. You got this. A guy that I think is going to have a great game, Don, Tyreek Hill. I think he's just going to pick apart the Jets. I think it's going to be he's going to have a lot of targets in this one and just have his random Tyreek Hill breakout game.
I'm very down with that.
Yeah, and then you're not playing any of the other guys, 2 boom or bust. And then Travis Kelce, Walsh said it best, you're not going to fucking sit him. You got to play him. There's no waiver wire guy who's more appealing than Travis Kelce. Keep it going, and the Jets are middle of the pack against the tight end as it is. So
Chiefs need Kareem Hunt and Travis Kelce to get back on pace, and they'll win.
Yeah, go back to the formula that got you where everyone was saying you're the best team in the league. It made no sense to stop any of that, but. Don, I think the Chiefs get back to their winning ways here, and I'm taking them over the Jets.
Disrespectful. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs again as well.
Cool. We got that. We are together on that one. Going over to the AFC East. Patriots at Bills. This is an interesting one. I don't really think there's going to be an upset here, mainly because the Patriots defense has been playing so well. And for that reason, I don't think Tyrod Taylor should be streamed at this point. I know back a while ago we said if he's active, he's a great play, but I'm not buying it this week, Don. I think it's a trap. It looks like a good one on paper just because New England's been so bad that they're catching up to, correct the mean of their points against their defense, but I'm not buying it.
I think every week, especially in daily, I've been playing a lot of guys going against New England because it's New England's pass defense so bad, and it really hasn't turned out that well for me. Nope. I think you're right. I think the defense has been much better than most. Definitely not streaming Tyrod Taylor this week. Again, go for Case Keenum. Go for Josh McCown. Even Jared Goff. I'm not going Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, that is a good call, Don. And then it affects pretty much, the rest of the guys. You're playing LaShawn McCoy. We don't have to talk about that at all. He's fantastic. Roll him out there. He'll do his normal stuff. Zay Jones has kind of been picking his shit up. Got a lot of targets, but not a lot of catches. Grabbed the touchdown, so that's a little fluky. I don't think he's a play. I don't really think Jordan Matthews is a play or any of the pass catchers here. I think New England's going to shut them down this game.
I think the only bill to play is Shady.
I might still play Clay. Yeah, I don't know. He's like the ASJ for me. It's like that same. Yeah. They're the exact same play, and they have the exact same ceilings and floor. So I think I still would. I don't know, just because I feel like they'll get down and they're going to have to pass, and I feel like the outside's going to be locked up. So maybe Clay in the middle, but like you're saying, it's not the greatest. But
all right, would you play Charles Clay or Tyler Kroft?
No, not Tyler Kroft. I'd play Clay.
You'd play Clay over Tyler Kroft?
Yeah, I think the Bengals. I mean, we'll get to that. That's the last game we're going to discuss in the next podcast. But yeah, not feeling the Bengals in that one. I think it's going to be sloppy, and Tyler Kroft's been very hit and miss at the goal line.
What about Jack Doyle?
Oh, I'd definitely play Jack Doyle.
And Cameron Brate against Green Bay.
I would not play Brate. I'd play Clay.
Talked the past few weeks. So
yeah, OJ Howard's kind of taking that. But yes, that is the established line there for Charles Clay for us. And with that, we'll switch over to the Patriots. Tom Brady must play. Brandon Cooks must play. Chris Hogan still not practicing, but he's out of his sling apparently. Obviously, if he goes, you play him. Danny Amendola's snap count is too low for me to play him regardless.
No, you don't play him.
Yeah, has not been working out. Same thing with Dorsett, too fluky. Don't do that. Always play Gronk. And Don, the real questions come with this stupid-ass backfield. I've seen so much Rex Burkhead shit, and it's going to ruin so many people's fantasy weeks. I do not buy into this. I'm not doing it, and I don't advise even to pick him up. If you did, just
I think Rex Burkhead's worth a pickup.
He's worth a pickup, but I'm advocating you don't play him. So I don't even know why he's on people's teams.
The safest bet is Dion Lewis.
I agree with that.
That is a safe pickup. I don't know if I'm throwing him out there. I need to see more.
It's too late to see more, Don. It's week 13.
I don't know. But I'm probably dropping James White at this point. I mean, he's doing nothing. So
yeah, you're right in that. James White has kind of disappeared, but it's so fluky, man. And James White's still involved too, somewhat enough.
Yeah,
where I'm like,
but not fantasy relevant at this point. And Rex Burkhead, taking a lot of snaps.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like any week it could just flip right back. Like we can be talking about James White. So stay away from everything.
Willing to hold on to where you don't even know, but then leaving Rex Burkhead on the waiver wire.
Yeah, fuck it. It's someone else's problem or reward. Like I don't like any of that. Like I hate.
It's currently possibly my problem. I need to clear up some bench space, and James White's the next guy to cut off. So,
yeah, I mean,
I'm confident to get rid of him.
Oh, with James White? Yeah, you can cut bait. That's okay. It's if you need a spot start from anybody else, any other position, cut bait with James White. You said it before really quick, Don, but you were totally right. Dion Lewis, safest play for sure. Mm-hmm. So he's getting rolled out. Mike Gillislee, bust of the year potentially. He's still inactive, so that is done and done. And that wraps up this one for us, Don. I'm going to roll with the Patriots. Yeah.
I can't go against them.
Keep going. And we go over to the Broncos at the Dolphins. Don, I assume you want to hit the Dolphins first because Jay Cutler and stuff. Don?
Sorry, drinking my beer and not listening to you.
All right. Thanks, man. Well, as you know, Jay Cutler has cleared concussion protocol and will be the starter. This shouldn't change too much for anything except for maybe Devante Parker's value, who has been the bane of your existence for this entire season. But that's pretty much all.
I'm debating on Kenny Stills and Devante Parker every week.
Yeah, and you're going to probably flip back since.
Yeah, it's like me being a 2 tight end owning bitch, as Matt would call me. And every week, it's now, do I play Kenny Stills or Devante Parker?
Which you got right last week, but it really didn't matter because they both they weren't too.
I mean, I got 6 points out of Kenny Stills versus 1 out of Devante Parker. But
yeah,
it's still not sexy at all.
But I like Parker in this game mainly because he's Jay Cutler's guy, 1, and 2, Jarvis Landry is going to be matched up against Chris Harris, who is now still going to play the slot even though Talib is suspended. So I think he's going to lock up Landry a little bit and make Cutler panic, obviously, because that's kind of what he does. So he'll be chucking up some 50-50 balls, and I think Parker will grab enough. Maybe some Kenny Stills, but yeah, I don't love Landry, but he's probably one of your studs, so you're playing him anyway. Just be aware that the matchup is shit regardless, because they're not going to move Chris Harris out to one of the left or right wide receivers. He'll stay in the slot there. And it makes sense because Landry's probably their best wide receiver. But that is what it is. And Damian Williams is now on the shelf with the same shoulder injury, I think, suffered by Chris Hogan and company there. And Kenyon Drake is now the dude. So he's going to get a lot of work. I would assume 16 touches, 18 touches. So I think he should be your flex if you own him.
It's a very fair flex play.
Oh, you cut out, Don.
I said it's a very fair flex play.
Yeah, the matchup, again, not too great with the Broncos being pretty decent against the run, but enough volume will be there. Not sexy, but you got to do it. And then speaking of not sexy, I like Julius Thomas as a tight end stream.
Yeah, that's not sexy.
No, it's not. I'm guessing you don't like this.
We've already had struggles with the receivers and who to play with, and really Jarvis Landry. Now you're talking about trying to stream Julius Thomas. I just don't think that mouth is fed enough to even think about being played.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Broncos are pretty rough against the tight end because, they lock down most of the other positions. So something over the middle, not out of the question, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if I would play Clay or Julius Thomas there.
I'd play Clay.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Clay too. It's probably a lot safer. Yep, well, I just shut myself up. Yeah, and smarter for sure. Just fucking proved myself wrong. Way to go, man. So switch over to the Broncos, Don. We got Trevor Simeon, the man, getting his job back, slinging 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, proving that he should have been playing the whole time because Paxton.
Yeah, I really don't understand that whole
It's terrible.
Come on, dude. You got Brock Osweiler that you bring back, who's lost his job in Houston. He lost his job in the fucking Browns to Deshaun Kaiser. You think then Simeon, and I loved it. I love that he came in and did exactly what he always does. He's the most consistent quarterback there is at freaking sucking. I don't know. And then they're like, oh, you know what? Now we got to try to do. I don't know why they ever took Simeon out, but I think Walsh did it pretty nice on the recap. Value Sanders and Demaryius Thomas. So expect, decent plays in to play him.
Yeah, so you're totally right. Walsh is right. He hit that pretty well. You definitely got to keep rolling Thomas and Sanders out. It hasn't been the best year for either of them by any means, and it's been pretty rough for the Broncos in general, but roll them out there. Simeon boosts their value from the last couple of weeks, which has been a shit show. So hopefully they get those touchdowns instead of Benny Fowler and Cody Latimer. Mm-hmm. So you can get real fantasy points this week. And, dude, the running backs, C.J. Anderson let me the fuck down after starting really well. And now I don't think you can touch him. Borderline droppable.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm dropping him, but and then you got Devante Booker. Is he a possible safe play for like a PPR format where he's back? I mean, I know he had that receiving touchdown.
So I've been struggling with this. He's the safest play out of the running back core here, but the play sucks. Like you don't want to do it. Like it's definitely safe if you're, bottom of the barrel scraping, but
all right,
safest play out of the backfield. And, they've been down every game too. So that's what helps a lot. And I don't know, this game could be a little more close, but I've been having trouble reading Broncos games.
Would you play Devontae Booker or Rex Burkhead?
Booker all the way. Fuck Burkhead, dude. I really hate him.
I think I'd probably play Burkhead, but
nah,
that's fair.
But yeah, that's a good comparison because they have the same sort of ceiling there where they're the pass catching back and you don't know how many carries they get. And if they do get the carries, they can have a great game or they can totally bust and do nothing. So that is the risk you're running with not only Booker, but also Burkhead, who we've mentioned a couple times now. So be wary of those starts. And I think that's it. I don't have anybody else in this game. So I'm going to go with Simeon having a huge win and winning that starting job back, which he probably shouldn't have lost.
I'm going to go with Kenny Stills and Devante Parker being the reasons why Miami wins.
Who's throwing the ball to those guys?
No one.
Yeah, that's what
Kenny
I thought.
Stills will throw it to Devante Parker and vice versa.
Ooh, gadget plays. I like that, Don. Just so many gadget plays from the Dolphins.
They're signaling all day.
No Cutler at all. Just lots of gadget.
No, he might play wide receiver for a play and just stand there.
He's the man.
Piece of garbage.
God damn, I love that man.
Oh, God.
All right, well, we got our Cutler piece in, and that's going to bring us right into the halfway mark here for this podcast. We are going to hear from BenchBoss real quick, and we'll be winding down with the last 4 games here for you.
This year, dominate your friends with free play-by-play fantasy football from BenchBoss. BenchBoss is the first play-by-play fantasy football game where you must think like the players and coaches on the field as you predict the outcome of every play. Earn rewards as you compete against friends and fans across the country. BenchBoss is currently recruiting beta testers, and we need you. Visit benchboss.tv to learn more and sign up today.
And welcome back, dudes. That was BenchBoss, and me and Don are hitting our stride.
And ladies.
And we and ladies. Oh, yes, dudes and
dudettes.
I want to say dudettes. It's a douche term. Don't say that.
It is beyond douche.
Yeah.
But
dudes and dudettes. Ugh. Fucking awful.
but it's like Hollister. What was it? The
chicks and
chicks. It was
chicks and bros.
No, I forget. But it was like one of the reasons why, like, even when Hollister was a thing, I was like, I refuse to purchase anything from there.
I'm above this. I like them because they had nice thermals. You know me, I like my long sleeves. So
I don't know, man. I don't think that Hollister ever should have been any type of wave at any point.
Whatever. Again, getting outside of the game. Don, I just said we were hitting our stride and we go right off the rails like in 5 seconds.
Podcast. Everyone knows what they're getting into. If they can't stand us, they already turned us off anyway. It's the reason why we shouldn't be ever put together on this podcast.
I always have a good time.
When we get on here, we get sidetracked. We get drunk. We extend this way too long where no one can ever possibly listen to the full podcast because most people probably have real jobs and like I can't listen to this all day. They just want a quick 45 minutes for their ride home and ride to work, and we
quick 45. This podcast is going to cruise past 115 easy. We got to bring the people what they want. Speaking of what the people want, Don, 49ers at Bears.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
This game is going to be awesome. Blowout for both teams. I mean, shootout, not blowout.
That's nap time for me.
I don't know. They got some elements here.
Watch Jimmy G, dude. I'm actually excited to watch Jimmy G.
Yeah, it should be cool.
Another streamer I would throw in there before Dak.
Oh, that is – all right, let's talk about that then. That's pretty ballsy, Don. The Bears defense, they're at home, have been pretty good. I would not start Jimmy G. Why would you do that?
Over Dak.
Oh, yeah. No, I would not do that. Why would you do that? I would roll Dak.
I would 100% do that. You see that touchdown he threw, man? It's got to be good.
He threw that.
That's a promising. It's drive at the end.
Yeah, I don't really want to base my entire opinion off of
he might win 6 rings.
Garoppolo did in the last minute. I've seen him play well for the Patriots. I'd rather, base it off that. And he did all right. So, I've seen him play. I think of course you play him over Geno Smith. Don't be ridiculous.
Not according to Walsh.
Well, we actually don't know Walsh's opinion on that one.
He said he's going to play him in a bunch of leagues.
Maybe he'll do Jimmy G in a couple leagues. Regardless, I don't think it's good.
Probably. I mean, Walsh does like 75 lineups, so.
That's true. He does just go nuts.
But anyway, continue. I apologize.
It's all right, Don. I just think
Jimmy
it's a rough matchup.
I think it'll be fun to watch. I think he's going to do okay.
Yeah, we could be looking at this in the league for a while, Garoppolo and Trubisky. So we're looking a little bit into the future. It could be neat, but I just I don't know. I think Garoppolo's going to have a rough time. Obviously, a hard offense to learn if he wasn't starting immediately after a week or two of getting ready. And so it should be interesting. I don't know. The Bears are just tough. Pass catchers there for Garoppolo. Goodwin's really the only healthy one. Only one who's shown any fantasy relevance whatsoever. Do you want to play him, Don? I don't.
Goodwin?
Yeah.
Well, if Jimmy G's playing, then duh.
Right, yeah. Instant start.
No, I'm staying away from any type of anyone really, other than maybe Carlos Hyde in this game. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos Hyde's that guy who debate with yourself all week who to start over him, and you just wind up doing it, and it's always okay. So roll Hyde. I agree. I'm not touching any of the pass catchers. No George Kittle for me anymore. No Selleck. Don't want to touch Robinson, so I'm out on that stuff. Done with the 49ers here.
And done with the Bears.
Mitch Trubisky.
Don't play him.
He's borderline streamable, though.
Nah.
I know that – all right, so – yeah, I'll talk myself out of that too. They're going to run it 50 times.
Dude, there's no reason to put Trubisky in.
Yeah, they're going to run it so much.
Play Eli Manning over him.
I think Jordan Howard's going to get on a huge roll.
Yes, Jordan Howard should have a good game.
Yeah, and that's probably the only guy I'm going to play. The only one who I'm slightly tempted is Dontrell Inman, who's had 7 targets in the last couple games each. It's just they don't throw it so much, and I don't know if they're going to want to, if they can absolutely run the ball against the 49ers. So there's really no reason to throw it, and he's a desperation flex, but he's intriguing for sure.
Yeah, I would only go with Jordan Howard as the only person to play in this matchup.
Very fair. Who do you got, Don? I don't know what you're going to do here.
Jimmy G, first game in, doesn't need to know a play. Throw the ball, you're going to win. Take the Bears down.
All right, I'm gonna take the Bears here. They spoil Jimmy G's first start, but I do think Jimmy G's going to be fine. I just think this is not a good time for this. So yeah,
he had that great last shot, man. I mean, it's definitely
that last minute was amazing. So he is Super Bowl's locked and loaded. Lions, maybe Ravens
already, but maybe start earlier.
Yeah, fuck it. Lions at Ravens, Don. Let's do Lions first.
That's fine.
We saw Matthew Stafford get a little banged up. Roughed his ankle up a tad. He says it's fine. Obviously, he played through it because he's Matt Stafford and loves being hurt and playing. Mm-hmm. Is he a dangerous start, Don? He's probably the best quarterback who is going against the Ravens in the last, 8 weeks.
He is. I think Stafford, though, I think where we've been hitting I think McCown and
Keenum
over him though.
Yeah, I could buy that. I could definitely buy that. It's they'd probably be safer actually. Those two, which is surprising because that's just ridiculous to say, but that is what's happening right now in the NFL. So I agree with that, Don. And with the whole ankle situation, defensive matchup is, it's a little tough, but the Ravens definitely have some bulked up stats due to the quarterbacks and teams they've faced, but they've still been going out there and playing and finishing the game. So the defense can't be that bad if they can, shut out teams who are bad enough that they don't deserve.
Right, and they don't have an offensive.
Right. So, yeah. So they're out there for a long time anyway.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough go for Matt Stafford. I don't think it's going to be horrible, but I think it's going to be most expect. I mean, Matt Stafford, he's had a pretty fantasy, more than fantasy relevant. He's had a pretty good fantasy. I think he's, top 7 or 8 for. I mean, that's someone you like, but I think this is going to be a tough Ravens team, and I think there's some streamable quarterbacks that can play over him.
Yeah, and we hit him, and that's definitely completely valid, and I think that's where I would lean as well on that because it's a sketchy call to start Stafford despite the success. And then the guys he's going to be throwing to, Don, have some rough matchups themselves. We got Marvin Jones, Golden Tate. Marvin Jones has been on the most insane hot streak I've seen this year, I think. Other than like
last week.
Yeah, other than like Kareem Hunt and stuff. Like, Jesus Christ, he's exploded. So he's unsittable, basically.
He's you have to play him. You would kick yourself by trying to get, too matchup savvy with this and trying to sit him when he's just been too good.
Yeah, lights out. And he's been in bad matchups the last couple of weeks and gone off. So keep him plugged in there. Probably see a lot of Jimmy Smith, but like what the fuck ever. We saw Hopkins rip him apart. I'm not saying Marvin Jones is Hopkins, but definitely a more than capable wide receiver. He can get it done. And then Tate's kind of been on the exact opposite end of that, kind of a cold streak. But
yeah,
I feel like the target's got to be there for him eventually, and you're not going to sit Golden Tate. So
no.
I think you just keep rolling him. If he has his game, he does. If he doesn't, it's probably going to be an okay, not a game killer for you.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So Amir Abdullah missed practice with a neck injury. I'm sure he'll play. I think he's fine.
I'm not playing him.
Yeah, you don't want to play him is what I was going to say, but he probably will be active. I was going to say if he misses, I like Theo Riddick.
No, I'm probably not playing him either.
That's also fair. I just think he's a nice flex if you're panicking and then all of a sudden
I'm panicking if he's in my flex.
Fair enough, Don. That is also a valid point. And then we don't need to mention Double E. We'll move on.
I can't even mention his name this week.
Yeah, we'll just keep it down to Double E, and that's just
still sitting in Vinny's Pandora box.
That's where he'll stay for all eternity. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. And we'll just switch over to the Ravens before I start crying. Not a lot of guys I want to play, so I'll just start with the running backs here. Alex Collins didn't practice with a calf thing, which is crazy because he's been great, and this popped up this week, literally today. So I would say he's in trouble of missing this game, which would be very interesting for Danny Woodhead, because there's a possibility that if Stafford's like fine and just starts slinging, that the Ravens go down quick, and then Danny Woodhead's going to be the guy they're going to have to go to over and over. So obviously, depending on what happens to Collins, it's obviously fringing on Danny Woodhead's value there.
I agree. I think Alex Collins is a go. Looks like 4 games. It says 15 back. So and Lions have been giving up to the running back position. So good play. That's playing the Danny Woodhead comes back in. Danny Woodhead's always been known to be that receiving anyway. So if Alan Collins is out and Danny Woodhead's in, he's going to get the work. Yeah,
absolutely. That's why I was so shocked, and it's such a shame because Collins had a great matchup coming in, and obviously been doing great. But just keep it monitored. I think Collins is the play. I'd be really scared if Danny Woodhead to play him with Collins active, so keep that in mind. The pass catchers, I don't want to touch at all. Macklin, Wallace had pretty good matchups, in that Texans game, and they were just terrible.
Did nothing.
Yeah, just garbage. So.
Yeah, and Flacco's not that good, so.
Also, yes, Flacco's just trash. Ben Watson, Max Williams, fuck all that. Not touching those guys, and that wraps this game up pretty nicely. So I'm going to take the Lions here. Stop this streak.
I'm going to go with Baltimore keeps it going.
Wow. All right there, Don.
This is going to be it. Everyone in our division just loses. Packers stay alive somehow.
That's why you're picking like this.
No, I'm not. But then Rodgers is going to come back week 15 and start striping the ball to everyone. We win the Super Bowl.
Oh, my. That is just delusional, Don.
It's going to be a Packers-Chargers Super Bowl, and the Packers are going to win.
I'd pick Phillip there, but whatever.
Well,
I am rooting for the Chargers.
Listen, I love Phillip.
Yeah, I know what you want to do. I just realized we're hitting the NFC North 3 times in a row as we cruise into the Vikings at Falcons game. I imagine you're going to pick the Falcons, Don. Am I spoiling your pick already?
Necessarily true.
Fine.
We'll get to it at the end of the matchup.
Let's work our way through that then. So we've been talking about Case Keenum the entire podcast. Obviously a good stream. The matchup is especially nice because we have Desmond Trufant and Brian Poole, who are their main cornerbacks, who are going to be out. It's going to be very similar to what the Saints faced last week against the Rams. Mm-hmm. Their top guys are out. They're going to be vulnerable. Adam Thielen and Diggs are the best, one of the best tandems. I don't want to say the best, but best tandems of wide receiver. They will shred this defense if they're not there. And they probably will anyway if they're in and not healthy. So we touched on a lot there. But, yeah, Case Keenum, definitely I think me and Don's stream of the week for sure if he's still out there.
Yep.
Thielen's going to rip it up. Diggs is probably going to rip it up as well. Kyle Rudolph had a big game on Thanksgiving, but I don't know if I'm going to do that against the Falcons, who are pretty good against the tight end, which is odd, but they just are. And there are so many other weapons I think they might pick on him on the opposite sides, but I think you probably roll him with touchdown upside.
I think he's a tight end that over. I think he's still a hopeful play every week.
Yeah, okay. I buy that too. I would assume if you're still using him, you drafted him, or you picked him up. So, yeah, I agree with that, Don. That is a good call. Flip it over to the Falcons side. Matt Ryan.
Did we hit running backs?
No. Oh, shit. We should definitely talk about that because it's
that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I just hit the easy stuff. So, Don, if you want to take it away, go for it. What's your take on this? Because I have a certain one.
I think Latavius Murray has to be played.
I agree with you, but the matchup sucks. And I think, we've talked about it for weeks. They both need to be played, them being Latavius Murray and Jerick McKinnon. But I think McKinnon's going to get worked way more into the passing game on the outside and stuff. And I think that's going to help them obviously win the game because we've talked about this multiple times on the podcast as well. Falcons get beat a lot by pass-catching running backs. And on paper, the matchup is bad, but that's only for Murray because he's a one-dimensional running, like straight up the gut and stuff like that, where McKinnon will be used in the pass game and whatnot.
I don't think either can be sat. I mean, Latavius Murray is literally the same exact running back as he was last year. He's extremely touchdown dependent for the most part, but he gets touchdowns. He gets a touchdown. So
that's true. Like they could wind up at the goal line and he gets one like he is one to do. Dude. So yeah.
You're like 100% going to get this touchdown. So here's the ball. So
yeah. Bottom line, both should be played. I would maybe temper expectations with Murray, but that's just matchup based. So that could easily be fixed with the touchdown that Don's talking about. No problem there.
Right.
So we'll jump over now to the Falcons, and we'll hit Matt Ryan, who draws a tough matchup. Nothing he can't beat, though. I think he's still serviceable. Don, I think you have him in our league. Are you rolling him out there still, or are you going to look elsewhere to the stream?
I can't tell you these things, man.
Oh, because I guess, yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't even fishing. I don't care what you do.
That's right.
That's fine.
Fishing. But Matty Ice, I think he's going to have a serviceable game, like you said. But I think you definitely look elsewhere. Matt Ryan is just always very
he's lacking the upside this
year,
which is
no, but it's every year though. You know what? It's like he doesn't get a lot of the touchdown passes that you want. His name is more his actual stats for you for a fantasy owner. And that's going to be the same thing for Minnesota. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a bad game, but running the ball anywhere near the red zone too, you got to remember. You can just rip it up in the red zone. And and Devonta Freeman, is he back?
Yeah, I was going to say before we got to that, he is cleared from the concussion protocol, so he will be starting active, ready to rock. And I guess we'll just segue to that because I think if Freeman's active, you throw him in there, you play him. You've been waiting for this. Mm-hmm. And if you had Tevin Coleman, enjoy what he did last week. But if you play him this week, you're playing with fire, and I would not do that.
Mm-hmm.
So they go back to that dangerous split where it's, it's still sort of split. Nah, I'm not cool with that. Can't be done. Freeman is the one true running back there.
Right. I would just go Freeman then.
Yeah. I think a lot of people might get burned by playing Coleman, just riding him out, but I don't think it's going to work. And then you got Julio Jones hot off his best game. He had his Julio game finally, goes completely nuts. Hopefully you won on the wings of that because that was fucking impressive. Obviously play Julio. Doesn't matter who is going to be on him, if it's going to be Rhodes or whatever. Sanu. I would keep rolling Sanu. I've been doing it for a couple weeks now in our league. And
definitely.
Yeah, I think you just keep rolling him. He threw that really Mohamed Sanu-esque touchdown, which was great. That brought me back to the Bengals.
Yeah, and it's apparently every time he is throwing the ball, it's always a really great reception or a touchdown.
Yes, he has very skewed stats. He's got the best passer rating of all time because of that. And
I would play him over Geno Smith in quarterback this week.
There you go. That's actually a great call, Don. I would too. Just on the off chance he throws one pass, it's magnificent.
It's a touchdown.
Easy call there. And then Don, I'm going to stay away from Austin Hooper again. So inconsistent. I'm sure there's better options on the waiver.
Hoop-a-loop. That's it.
Sucks because he's so talented, but there's just no room in the offense for him for whatever reason. Don, I'm going to throw it over to you. Who you got? I'm eager to see.
Are
you just saying that now?
No, I think they've taken our division.
Oh, that's why you let them just win out.
Beyond.
Cool.
No, they're going to win. I think they're a better team than Atlanta. Atlanta, I think, is whatever. I think they're better.
I'm going to go with Falcons. I guess it would be an upset, so I'll take Falcons.
Yeah, Green Bay's just coming for that wild card. And then Aaron Rodgers will have his revenge game.
Revenge against who? Just the entire league? Oh, right, because they broke his fucking collarbone.
Yeah, no, his collarbone was fucking broken.
Yep, from the Vikings. Totally. I remember that now. So,
you piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Our final game of this long podcast. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize. We are literally doing the NFC North
and we're capping it off the right way, dude.
Yeah, you know what, Don? You have the floor, man. I know you're sipping your beer, so I'll just keep babbling for 2 seconds, but take it away, dude.
Packers win.
And there you have it. That's it. Wrap it up. I don't even think we said who they're playing.
It's Packers Bucks, man. I think this is a good chance for and keep themselves somewhat alive. I said it. Well, Brett Hundley had a good game, but he's not someone that you're going to stream.
Good matchup.
DFS, you could. Maybe this is the week that you. I don't know if I would do it in year-long fantasy, but DFS, it's a little Devontae Adams, Brett Hundley stack would be pretty hot.
Yeah, I like that. I like that shit a lot.
Yeah,
that's a good call. I like that.
I'm really liking that right now. So I think we said it about the first Voncast that we have been consistently going off of about 2 weeks ago or so, where we said Devontae Adams is the receiver to go to out of anyone. And we stay corrected with it. And luckily I have Devontae Adams in a few leagues. So that works out really nice for me. Devontae Adams is that guy where, and we talked about it, Jordy Nelson's that pro route runner where Devontae Adams is that he's that outside route runner, but he's not doing anything crazy like Jordy. And he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. So Devontae Adams is really becoming his own, becoming that consistent guy for Hundley to go to. So Hundley's going to be going to Devontae Adams. I think, well, I would say Devontae Adams is a definite. Hey, I think you'd be okay with possibly rolling out Jordy Nelson and a wide receiver for, it's against Tampa.
I know, but
I think it could be his comeback week.
That's not a bad call. It's just if you've been in season long and you've been sitting Jordy Nelson, I don't think if you've been doing bad and sitting Jordy Nelson, and you don't have better options, I guess
that's what I'm saying. Like a
right,
wide
you can
receiver
gamble,
four,
but
so
like
you have to be in a deeper league, and if you have Jordy Nelson in a deeper league, I don't know how much better you have at that point.
This would be the matchup.
I think this would be the week to possibly do it. Hundley looks better. Looks more comfortable. This is a week for him to take the chance to give more opportunity to Jordy Nelson. So, again, it's a wide receiver 4 value I'm putting him at. Don't temper your expectations. But I think I would be okay at a wide receiver 4. You're in a deeper league, and you have him. I don't know how much better options you do have at that point. So, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, very valid points, Don. Little, I just feel like if you've been sitting him, just like fucking whatever. And if you've been doing okay, ride it out, whatever. Fine. The real questions are in the backfield here because we are having a bunch of dudes return to practice. By bunch of dudes, I mean one person because I'm stupid. Aaron Jones is now back working on that knee. Got a limited practice in. That affects Jamal Williams. Ty Montgomery still no.
He's limited.
Yeah, Jones. Jones is limited.
Yeah, but wasn't Montgomery he had a limited practice too?
No, he was out.
A limited rehab work.
Yeah, see, he's tough. So I think if at worst we get Williams and Jones in a committee, which might not be the worst thing because, obviously we saw Williams get a full workload and was, very good in the Steelers game, but that was,
I'm cool with rolling Williams this week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be something that you're going to be able to roll every week from here out, going on out. Because once he comes back, I don't want to say too much yes or no with anyone because apparently I just really fucked up on that backfield this year. Aaron Jones will be the guy. Aaron Jones, just yet. Even I would say Jamal Williams is safe for one more week.
Yeah, I'm kind of banking on that as well. So if they're both active, I think Williams is still a fine play. As you said before, playing Aaron Jones, that is sketchy. I would not be about that. I'd be surprised actually if he played too, because he's fresh off. Like this is like the first week he's eligible to return, like based off his timetable.
Right.
So I would be kind of shocked. And Williams, they've been doing all right with him, giving him a full workload. And that's really what's been keeping his value afloat because opportunity after opportunity, eventually one will hit. And that definitely happened in that Steelers game because he blew up. Yeah. So all I was trying to say was don't expect that. It was kind of – I don't want to say lucky because he was great. But that's just kind of what it is.
Expectations.
A tad, but it's a great matchup. That's it, Don. We made it through half our –
we got to talk about the Bucs, dude. I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to.
We didn't touch on the Bucs. Jesus Christ!
I mean, I really don't care about them. So
I'm falling apart, man.
Packers win.
We talk so much about them. So yeah, Jesus Christ! I cannot believe I'm an idiot. So, Jameis coming back.
Maybe I should just host.
You know what, Don? You want to take the next one?
I don't know.
That's what I thought. Jameis comes back. It's kind of whatever. They lost 2 offensive linemen to IR. Doug Martin, no practice with the concussion. I'd be shocked if he played. Having just a terrible season. Walsh touched on this in the recap with Jaquiz, Peyton Barber, Charles Sims. They all must be owned in some kind of fashion, but playing them is another animal. And I don't want to play any of them because the splits are terrible because you get Jaquiz with the carries, Barber with the touchdowns, Sims with the catches. You have 3 running backs who should be 1 running back, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
It is gross. 2 guys that I do like, obviously Mike Evans. Play him every week. It's been a very down year, but if he's going to make a lot of noise, it's going to be against the Packers.
Yep.
And the same thing with Deshaun Jackson. I think he got a veterans break today, which is Wednesday. So he didn't practice with a foot injury, but I would be shocked if he didn't play. And if he does play, almost guaranteed that long touchdown against the Packers.
I hope not, but that's fair.
Yeah, it just makes sense. And then we talked about Brayton Oj Howard. They've canceled each other out, I think, and they're out of the stream just because they're both impeding on each other's value. So I take Cameron Brate out of the pool. I take Oj Howard out of the pool. And I look forward to see what they do in the offseason, because if one of them is on the team and the other one isn't, they could be great.
Yeah.
But that is not the case.
Do you think that Jameis Winston is as good as a streamer as Walsh had made him out to be last night?
I think it could do worse. I mean, you're banking. I would be banking on the amount of work Evans gets and Deshaun. So, yeah, I think he's a good one. I don't know if I do it over McCown and Keenum like we keep harping on, but he's definitely up there for me.
What about Goff?
I would still play Goff.
What about Derek Carr?
I would play Jameis there.
Okay.
Yeah, too many people are out for Carr.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's where I stand. I think he's a good stream. You're not liking it, Don?
I was just asking.
Oh, what do you think, though? Would you play him over Keenum and Josh? Probably not.
I think he's not the worst stream, but I think there's just enough on the waiver that I'm not going for Jameis Winston. I'm going for Goff, Keenum, and McCown.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So, I mean, maybe even Trevor Simeon over him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh. That's something to chew on as we leave the podcast, because we're finally done. We're finished.
Until part 2.
Until part 2, where we hit the rest of the games. That is correct, Don. So thanks for hanging in there. If you listen to this was Voncast 3. And we're going to keep rolling to Voncast 3 Part 2, in which we will touch on the 4 o'clock games, or wrap out the last of the 1 o'clocks, get all the 4 o'clocks, get the prime times in there for you.
And drag it along over an hour and a half.
Absolutely. I hope this one was an hour and a half. It might have been, though. That's rough. Oh, well. Don, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, guys. Thanks for listening to our hour and a half Part 1.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good week, or a day, because we'll be back on Friday with Part 2. This will be out Thursday for you, so good luck to you. Hope you have a good Thursday night if you're playing anybody, and we will see you on the next part.
This has been Let's Talk Fantasy Football. Thanks for listening.